It's Felixstowe Radio Breakfast. Good morning, Daniel Moore with you here. Thanks for joining us this morning. And speaking of joining us this morning, who have I got on the end of the phone? It's only going to be one person because there's only one person with my phone number. Tommy Larkins, how are you today?
It's the movie man himself. I am here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you this morning, Tommy. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm glad that November is almost over.
It means one thing, doesn't it?
I'm just glad. Yeah, it's building up. It's getting closer to that countdown of ours.
Oh, yes, I know. The end of lockdown. I'm looking forward to it too. So we've also got Christmas coming up, haven't we? I couldn't resist the joke. We've got Christmas coming up as well, haven't we, Tommy? And we've got something very special that we'll reveal a little bit later on. So, Tommy, what have we got for review today?
So for today, I thought I'd review one of my favourite movies. It's the film Castaway, starring Tom Hanks, that came out in the year 2000. Yeah. I don't know. Have you heard of that movie?
I think I've seen it. I think I've actually seen it.
Did you watch it in school or something? Did you? Or
yeah.
All right. Wow. No, I mean I'm still impressed. I'm still impressed.
Yeah. So can't remember it very well, but I did see it.
Well, this might jog your memory a bit when I talk about it. I was going to say, I remember back in Christmas 2003, this film washed its way onto British television, but I only managed to see half of the film because it was Christmas 2003. You know, I wanted to watch Finding Nemo on DVD that Christmas, or play the PS2 game that I had of it, you know, etc. I had other things going on as an 8-year-old, but
all to do with Finding Nemo.
It had to be done. Yeah. This film still intrigued me because the idea of a film about a man stranded on an island and holding on to hope was something I had not come across in a film before. Therefore, it did interest me, even back then.
Yeah.
For the first 20 minutes of the film, it is very straightforward, building on the character of Chuck, that's his name, and what he will be without once he arrives on the island. Something I had not noticed until recent rewatch was that Alan Silvestri's beautiful musical score, does not properly enter the film until Chuck finds his way off of the island. It's merely one basic track for the soundtrack, but it is very somber and poignant, and is a track I listen to quite often, actually. It's so it's kind of like when he's on the island, there's no music that plays over the movie because he's that isolated at that point.
So it's dramatic effect by not having music, because normally in cinematic productions you have the music there to kind of set an atmosphere. Like I have music playing over the top of you, for example.
Of course.
Stripping that right back, that, isolates the viewer as well, doesn't it?
I remember hearing a director say how music is a comfort in film. If something sad is happening, music will play to comfort the audience. And this director who said this, he didn't have any music playing on his sad moments in his movies because he wanted the audience to feel uncomfortable. That was the emotion he wanted to convey. But of course, I don't think that was so much the intent in this movie, but still it works in that way, I think.
Wow.
There are a few laughs to be had in this film, like Chuck befriending a volleyball called Wilson. Do you remember?
No, don't remember.
There's a volleyball that I think
I do remember. Yes.
Yeah.
It took me a moment.
And then there's... You what?
It took me a moment.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, and then it come back to you.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like he cuts his hand and a bit of his blood falls onto the volleyball, and then he draws a face on it, and then throughout the rest of the duration that he's on the island, this volleyball just becomes his best friend. Yeah. And then there come the sad parts as well, when him and Wilson part ways. As I'm sure I can probably jog your memory that when he does brave the sea at the end to try and escape the island, he falls asleep on his raft, and then he wakes up and he sees Wilson has floated off in the distance, and he screams for him, Wilson, come back, I'm sorry. And it's just a volleyball floating away. All I can say to that is, still a better love story than Twilight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a bit dark for you, that one, Tommy. A little bit of a dig. Love it.
I'm not. I don't like Twilight.
Oh, I gathered. I gathered. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, a beautiful love story.
Between a man and a volleyball. You know, it's one of the cinema's greatest love stories, and it's between a man and an inanimate object, in not so much a rude way as American Pie, for example.
Fair enough.
Tom Hanks does great, as he normally does, as the main character of the film. Of course, you know him as Woody more than anything.
Of course, legend. He really is great in his live action roles too. Considering not much dialogue happens once he is on the island due to him being the only person there, the character of Chuck carries the story through and shows a lot of emotion without speaking it. Not to mention, the production of the film was actually halted for a year so Hanks could lose weight and grow a beard to show he had been on that island for 4 years. Wow, that's commitment.
So they basically filmed like the first 20 minutes of the film when he looks relatively normal, like a well-fed man, as it were, and then they shut off production for a year, so Tom Hanks could just lose all of that weight, and he looks like a completely different person for the rest of that film. It's bizarre.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's just a testament to the film, and one of the many reasons I appreciate it so much. But to close, with this film, director Robert Zemeckis captured lightning in a bottle with another successful hit, considering he has the Back to the Future trilogy, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Forrest Gump on his directorial record.
Wow.
So the same guy that directed those movies.
Absolute genius.
I know, yeah. I mean, he's definitely one of my favourite movie directors. The character of Chuck, played by Tom Hanks, drives the story well, thanks to Hanks' highly dedicated performance, considering how much weight he lost for the remainder of the film and stuff. And the film itself teaches you important lessons on hope, perseverance, and the fact that every ending in life is always a new beginning.
Wow.
And that's my ending on that.
Go on then. How many stars would you rate this film?
I've got to go for it. It's a 5 out of 5.
There we go. Another 5-star out of Tommy. That's the second 5-star this month.
Yep. And I'm keeping track of the star count on each movie that we do.
I am. I'm keeping tabs on everything. Everything we do on this radio station. The whole radio station's recorded all the time, so we're always listening. Is what they say to me.
What
really
you're telling me that we're live on air right now? Like people are actually listening? Why didn't you tell me this?
For legal reasons, I did. So Tommy, another great review. Now we're looking forward to having you back next week. Sorry, it's a Thursday, but I'm not here tomorrow for personal reasons, as I explained earlier on in the program.
Of course, yeah. I totally understand.
So next week we are in December. And I cannot wait for that. That is going to be epic.
We are going to start the 4 recording countdown to Christmas, and with that 4 countdown to Christmas, I will be reviewing my top 4 favourite Christmas movies from the 4th all the way down to number 1. So number 1 debuts right on the Christmas week.
It does indeed. And you do not want to be anywhere else for that. You want to be here on Felixstowe Radio. Tell your friends, felixstoweradio.org.uk. If you go to felixstoweradio.org.uk/breakfast, follow the link there to our YouTube channel. You can hear Tommy natter on all day if you wanted to, can't you, Tommy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, if you want that kind of privilege.
There are people that like it. Anyway, moving on. So, Tommy, thank you very much again. Have yourself a great weekend. And I will speak to you next week on Friday.
No worries. Yeah, you too, Dan. Take care and stay in and keep warm in this wintry time.